Welcome back everyone. As most of you know, the iPhone X is one of the more, I think, interesting iPhones Apple has ever made. It was one of the first $1,000 phones that Apple put out, and even since then, you may think that this phone is probably not as good as it used to be, or it's strange, or it's not worth the money when you can go buy an iPhone 12 or the 13s that are about to come out. But I'm going to tell you, I think the iPhone X is kind of a better phone now than when it first came out. And I kind of said the same thing about the iPhone XR, but the iPhone X especially. This is a crazy good phone still, and I've just been preaching like crazy about this device. Now, I would not recommend buying this phone like right now because the iPhone 13s are about to come out, but the main reason why I think the iPhone X is such a solid phone and why it just is such a better phone now than when it first came out was because of that design. That design was one of the most interesting design. That design, although when it first came out, it was kind of perplexing because of that notch, but when you looked at across the market, we had the Galaxy S8s, we had those OnePlus devices of that year as well, and we had those Pixel devices where, still were kind of outdated design except for the Pixel 2 XL. The iPhone X looked extremely good, and even now, when you look at the evolution of the iPhones, they really haven't changed this design a crazy amount. In terms of the front, it's almost exactly the same. The flat sides and all that stuff obviously is a little bit different, extra cameras here and there, but at its raw core, the design with the notch, with the glass back and everything is still almost identically the same on the iPhone X as it is on the iPhone 12, and as it's looking like on the iPhone 13s as well. So that is another massive thing to keep in mind about that phone. So I'm going to tell you, the iPhone X especially is a solid phone because of that design, and it's one of the more interesting aspects of this phone without a doubt. Now on top of that, the software of this phone and the fluidity of this phone, I think has actually improved since the first day it came out. When I looked at iOS 11 on the iPhone X, that was a very strange software and there were bugs all over the place. But since then, Apple has transitioned away from that home button design with that gesture-based design being that main supported, device format. When you look at all the phones that have gesture-based design and all the iPhones that have home buttons, I think there are more, or if not the same amount of gesture-based design iPhones supported as, iPhones with home buttons. And that's a massive thing to keep in mind. So Apple is almost split in the middle. When it first came out, there were a lot of random issues. There were a lot of random things going on. Face ID also wasn't as good back then as it is now, which is crazy to say. It's gotten improvements throughout software updates. But also with each iteration of phones coming out, the past phone with the iPhone X, with that being the main first gesture-based designed iPhone, it's actually gotten the most amount of improvements from any iPhone after it. In my opinion, I had an iPhone X when it first came out, and it was a great experience at that time. But if you look at an iPhone X on iOS 11, or even if you look at older videos with the iPhone X on iOS 11 and stuff, there were a lot of glitches and everything going on. Now, there's still a lot of glitches there, especially when iOS 15 is going to first come out officially, but it's definitely gotten much more stable throughout time. So mostly the iPhone X, it was kind of like, a groundbreaking achievement from Apple at that time. Now, obviously all the phones nowadays are gestures and all that stuff, and every single phone has Face ID and stuff, but it's actually cool to see the improvements that Apple has made year after year for the iPhone X especially, and in my opinion, that's why I think the iPhone X is a much better phone now than when it first came out. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.